Good evening. I hope you're all well. If someone could just let me know in the box that you can hear me okay. Just want to make sure the sound is working. It's a bit quiet. Okay. Hold on. I'm hoping that's a bit better, but I'm hoping you can all hear me. Thanks, Nick. Oh, thanks, James. Thank you all. Thanks for joining me again. This is the fourth edition, the fourth episode of my pub quiz, the Spanish Inquizition. I hope you can see what I did there. So yeah, thanks for coming back again. For those that have been here since day one, thank you. Anyone that's new, welcome. As always, obviously I'm going to give a few minutes for people to join before we start. I just want to get some team names written down, if that's possible. So I've got most of them so far. Nick, have you got a team name? James, I'll take yours. Pointless Andor. Spanish Males are back. Welcome back, Frank. Welcome, Jason, if this is your first time. BAME, yeah, sticking up for the minorities there. Cool. Sarah Jane, welcome back. Who's on your team, Sarah? Is it just you and Ailey? We're feeling Scott. Well done. Cool. Okay, cool, Nick. You're on Woodford's team. Good to know. Hello, Veronica and George Lucky. Is there anyone else that is currently on that I've not got a team name for? I'll run through them quickly. So far I've got Don't Know It All, Smartinis, Gungans, Mouse Ratters, Horton Hears a Who, Sherlock's, Lone Wolf, Pointless Andor, Spanish Males, BAME, and We're Feeling Scott. Okay, the App Dynasty are here. Anyone else? Okay. Hi, Tony. Little Pigs. Sam and Lauren, Dangerous Duo. Cool. Cool, okay. That looks like that might be everyone. I'm really keen to try and keep this week's episode to under 2 hours, as I know the last couple of weeks have been over 2 hours, so I'm going to try and keep it moving as much as possible. Shannon's team name is Lone Wolf, Dad. There's a team that hasn't been able to get name is... Oh, okay. Candice, Three Amigos. Whose team are you on, Candice? Three Amigos. Evening to Rob, Andy and Ray, by the way. Are you playing by yourself, Candice? Cool, right. So if you haven't joined us before and it's your first time, then welcome. I'll go through the format quite quickly. There are 6 rounds. After the first 3 rounds, we take a quick break. We mark up those first 3 rounds and get an idea of the standings. Then we then carry on with the last 3 rounds, 4 to 6, add up the scores, and then we have a winner. Yeah, it's 10 questions per round, 1 point per question. So it's out of a total of 60. Before we get started tonight, sorry, Rozo2, Team Opal Fruits, cool. Before we get started tonight, you may remember from last week's quiz, if you were tuned in, about halfway through I said, Jason and Megan, who were Team Pie in the Oven, hadn't given me their scores. And off camera, Jason actually texted me to say that Megan was having cramps. She's pregnant at the time. It turns out those cramps turned into full-blown labour, and she gave birth on Monday. So we welcome to the world Louis, baby Louis, and I can make the claim that my quiz is so good that unborn children want to play. So if they are tuning in, then welcome. Hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's well. Also, a thank you to my mum and dad for supplying the gin for this week. Very well done. Okay, so if you haven't seen already, the 6 rounds this week. The first round is general knowledge, as usual. The second round is animals, a request from last week. The third round is geography. Then we take a break. The fourth round will be name the object. So it's a close-up pictures round, as requested by Sam last week. Then it's name the year. I'll give you 2 clues or 2 events that happened in that year. You have to name the year they happened. And then the final round, and apologies if you're not Star Wars fans, but the final round is film, and that is all on Star Wars this week. As last week it was on Marvel, this week it's on Star Wars, and I promise next week we will get back to a more generic TV and film round, although I have made the promise already that half of that might be on Friends. So we might do 5 questions just on Friends. But yeah, so that's the format. Rom-com. Cool, right. If everyone's ready, I'll get started. If you're ready, then just drop. And for those that haven't played before, please don't put your answers in the live chat. Obviously, write them down. We'll keep a score and we'll mark them as we go through, but don't put them in the live chat. Yeah, cool. So if you are ready, then I'll get started. Oh yeah, good reminder there, Ben. As we've got so many teams playing now, I'm not going to do a constant amount of recaps, so it's limited to 2 recaps per team. So if you miss a question or need something clarified, you've only got 2 chances to get that done. So use them wisely. Obviously, there are other means of capturing this information as it comes through, so you can take pictures as you go. Hope that makes sense. If you're ready, then I'll get started. I've got a couple of readies in the box. Is everyone ready to go? Simpsons round is a good suggestion there, Reese. Consider that, yeah, cool. Right, so first round, general knowledge. And your first question is: Francis Crick and James Watson made which medical discovery in 1953? So that's Francis Crick and James Watson made which medical discovery in 1953? Cool. I'm going to get through these tonight. So question 2. Who was the first British person to win a Nobel Prize for Literature? Who was the first British person to win a Nobel Prize for Literature? Okay, question 3. Which city had the most visitors in the world in 2019? So which city had the most visitors in the world in 2019? What was the most popular city last year, basically, to go and visit? Okay, so question 4. Wellington is the most southerly capital city, but which capital city is the most northerly? So Wellington in New Zealand is the most southerly capital city, but which capital city is the most northerly? Okay, question 5. What is Prince William's second name? So I'm not looking for his surname. Prince William has 3 Christian names. William is the first. So what is Prince William's second name? Thanks, Sarah. Flower power. Cool. Question 6. Which London-born actor has hosted the Academy Awards a record 18 times? So which London-born actor has hosted the Academy Awards a record 18 times? And the Academy Awards are the Oscars. For some of you that might be new to this, obviously I can't stop people cheating, but there's no really point in doing this for over an hour if you're going to cheat. So yeah, we trust everyone is playing to the way it should be. That's question 6. Which London-born actor has hosted the Academy Awards a record 18 times? Question 7. Which part of India was occupied by the Japanese in World War II? Which part of India was occupied by the Japanese in World War II? Question 8. Alec Guinness, Robert Carlyle, Anthony Hopkins and Ian McKellen have all played which 20th century historical figure? Alec Guinness, Robert Carlyle, Anthony Hopkins and Ian McKellen have all played which 20th century historical figure? Okay, question 9. Dirk, K-Bar, Sykes Fairbairn, Cookery and Basilard are all examples of what? Dirk, K-Bar, Sykes Fairbairn, Cookery and Basilard are all examples of what? Cool. Okay. Question 10 and the last question for general knowledge. What does agflation mean? What does agflation mean? Cool. Okay, so that was general knowledge. If everyone's ready, I'll move on to the second round, but if anyone wants to use a recap, then let me know. So if you need to use a recap, just let me know in the box. If not, then I'll move on to round 2, which you can see is animals. Sherlock's wants 7 and 8. That's both your recaps. Gone in the first round. Okay. Okay, so general knowledge 7 and 8. So 8 was Alec Guinness, Robert Carlyle, Anthony Hopkins and Ian McKellen have all played which 20th century historical figure? That was 8. 7. Which part of India was occupied by the Japanese in World War II? Hi, Michael Ezamoa. Team washing machine, I assume. Cool, right, I'm going to crack on with animals. So, animals. Question 1. Ursus actus is the scientific name for which bear species? Ursus actus is the scientific name for which bear species? Okay, that was question 1. Question 2. What is the largest animal with webbed feet? What is the largest animal with webbed feet? Okay, that was question 2. Question 3. Which land animal has the greatest range of vision? Which land animal has the greatest range of vision? So I'm not necessarily talking about which animal has the best vision, but when I mean greatest range, the amount they can see in one shot. So which land animal has the greatest range of vision? Cool. Question 4. Flamingos are born grey, but what gives them their pink colour over time? Flamingos are born grey, but what gives them their pink colour over time? That's question 4. Question 5. The fastest land animal is the cheetah, which can run up to 75 miles per hour, but name the slowest animal of the world. The fastest land animal is the cheetah, which can run up to 75 miles per hour, but name the slowest animal of the world. Hope you've all got your drinks as well at hand. Mine's obviously gin. See, Ben's got his whiskey. Porn star martinis, very posh. Cool, okay, so that's question 5. Question 6. A mandrill is what type of creature? A mandrill is what type of creature? Okay, question 7. Name the animal. So name the animal in the picture. It looks cute, Shaz. Cool. So that was question 7, name the animal. Question 8. Which mammal has the longest lifespan? Which mammal has the longest lifespan? So in general, this particular mammal lives the longest. So which mammal has the longest lifespan? That was question 8. Question 9. Which animal has fingerprints that are almost identical to those of humans? Which animal has fingerprints that are almost identical to those of humans? So basically, if you were to take a fingerprint of this particular animal and compare them to a human's fingerprint, they're almost identical. They're almost impossible to tell apart. So that's the penultimate question for animals. Which animal has fingerprints that are almost identical to those of humans? And then the final question for animals, question 10. Name a mammal that can't jump. Name a mammal that can't jump. Good answer, Mitch, but I'm not accepting white men. But yes. So that was animals. The next round is geography, but before I move on, does any team want to use a recap? Did you miss something? So don't know it all. Phil and Manny want to recap on question 3. Question 3 was, which land animal has the greatest range of vision? So not necessarily the best vision of how far it can see, but from a single shot, the range of vision that it has. So which land animal has the greatest range of vision? Cool. So the next subject is geography. Everyone happy for me to move on? Cool, right. So geography. Question 1. Which country has the longest coastline? Which country has the longest coastline? I might give you a bonus point as well if you can get to the nearest 1,000 with the correct answer. So that's question 1. Which country has the longest coastline? Question 2. Of the countries in Africa, Which one has the largest population? Of the countries in Africa, which one has the largest population? Yes, Nick, I know you've been crying out for it the last couple of weeks. Maybe a bonus point if you can name the country that's got the longest coastline and to the closest 1,000 kilometres, I might give you an extra bonus point. So that's question 2. Of the countries in Africa, which one has the largest population? Question 3. The Alps stretch across France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Slovenia, Switzerland, and which other country? So the Alps stretch across France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Slovenia, Switzerland, and which other country? Okay, that was question 3. Question 4. What is the only country with a coastline on both the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf? Oh, sorry. I've messed that up. I have to skip that question. For some reason, when I've transferred this over, that's not blacked out the country names. Skip question 4. Question 5. In area, Alaska, Texas and California are the 3 largest US states. Which is the 4th? So ignore question 4 on geography, my apologies. So in area, Alaska, Texas and California are the 3 largest US states. Which is the 4th? Okay. Question 6. Where am I? I am walking through the largest museum in the world. Where am I? I am walking through the largest museum in the world. Question 7. Where am I? I'm looking up at Michelangelo's statue of David. Where am I? I'm looking up at Michelangelo's statue of David. Question 8. Apart from the United Kingdom, name 2 other European countries where residents drive on the left. and there are 3 of them. So apart from the United Kingdom, name 2 other European countries where residents drive on the left. So it's 1 point for 2 countries. For the museum question, if you're talking about the largest museum of the world, yeah, I want the name of the museum. So that's question 8. Question 9, name the bridge. So that's question 9, name the bridge. Perhaps if you've seen the latest Spider-Man film, Far From Home, you might recognise it. Yeah, I want the exact name of the bridge. Question 10, name the country. So name the country. Okay, I'm conscious that obviously I messed up on one of those questions, so I'm going to give you another question now, which obviously won't be on the screen, so you'll need to make a note of it, or whatever you want to do. So to replace, I think it was question 4. Yeah, to replace question 4, the question is, name the sovereign state that lies just off the coast of Florida. So name the sovereign state that lies just off the coast of Florida. So that was the question, the replacement question for question 4. So name the sovereign state that lies just off the coast of Florida. Cool, so that was geography. Apologies for the mistake. We'll now mark up, well, in the moment we'll mark up the first 3 rounds, and we'll take a quick break and then get back into it. At the moment, before I go into the answers, does anyone else need a question clarified or recapped? Sovereign state and country, the same thing, but that's just how the UN recognise it. I think the reason they refer to it as a sovereign state is some other countries have an issue with it. So, hold on. So BAME wants a recap on question 10, okay? That was name the country. So name the country in red. Name the country in red. Okay, cool. So if you're ready, I'm going to go in and start marking general knowledge. So, answers to round 1, general knowledge. Question 1 was, Francis Crick and James Watson made which medical discovery in 1953? That was DNA. So that was DNA. Question 2, who was the first British person to win a Nobel Prize for Literature? That was Rudyard Kipling in 1907. So Rudyard Kipling in 1907. Question 3. Which city had the most visitors in the world in 2019? That was Bangkok. Which city had the most visitors in the world in 2019? That was Bangkok. Question 4. Wellington is the most southerly capital city, but which capital city is the most northerly? That's Reykjavik in Iceland. Question 5. What is Prince William's second name? It's Arthur. Prince William's second name is Arthur. Question 6. Which London-born actor has hosted the Academy Awards a record 18 times? That was Bob Hope. Might have thrown you slightly because we all recognise him as being American, but he was born in London. That was question 6. Question 7. Which part of India was occupied by the Japanese in World War II? That was the Andaman Islands. Question 8. Alec Guinness, Robert Carlyle, Anthony Hopkins and Ian McKellen have all played which 20th century historical figure? That's Adolf Hitler. So that was Adolf Hitler. Question 9. Dirk, K-Bar, Sykes, Fairbairn, Cookery and Basilard are all examples of what? They're knives. All examples of knives. Question 10. What does agflation mean? It means the increase in the price of food. So agflation means an increase in the price of food. Specifically for food. So that was general knowledge. The answers to the animal round now. So question 1. Ursus actos is the scientific name for which bear species? That's brown or grizzly bear. So that was brown or grizzly bear. Question 2. What is the largest animal with webbed feet? That's the hippopotamus. So the largest animal with webbed feet is the hippopotamus. It spends most of its time in water. Question 3. Which land animal has the greatest range of vision? That's the giraffe. I think its eyes are almost on the side of its head. Question 4. Flamingos are born grey, but what gives them their pink colour over time? It's the algae they eat. I think most people would put shrimp, but the shrimp feed off the algae as well. It's purely the algae. If the algae wasn't there and they ate the shrimp, then they wouldn't become pink. So it's the algae that they eat. So question 5. The fastest land animal is the cheetah, which can run up to 75 miles per hour. But name the slowest animal of the world. That's a three-toed sloth. It's a three-toed sloth, the slowest animal. Question 6. A mandrill is what type of creature? It's a monkey. Not to be confused with a baboon. Question 7. Name the animal. That's a Tasmanian devil. Question 7. That's the Tasmanian devil. Question 8. Which mammal has the longest lifespan? That's the Arctic whale or bowhead whale, which can live over 200 years. So which mammal has the longest lifespan? That's the Arctic whale or bowhead whale. Question 9. Which animal has fingerprints that are almost identical to those of humans? It's the koala. Cool. So question 10. Name a mammal that can't jump. These were the three that I was looking for. Elephant, rhino or hippo. Apparently none of them three can jump. So name a mammal that can't jump. Elephant, rhino or hippo. And then the next round is geography. And I think this is the first question is to do with the coastline, right? Does anyone want to hazard a guess? No extra points for the animal that can't jump question. Does anyone want to hazard a guess as to which country's got the longest coastline? And roughly the kilometres? Chile? No, not Chile. Yeah. It's not Australia. Australia's quite far down the list, you'll be surprised. Yeah, it's not Australia, it's Canada. And it's got an amazing coastline that was just over 243,000 kilometres. And the reason you don't think it's that big is, so obviously it borders the US in the south, but to the north, half of it is all islands. So they count all the islands in between. So that's why its coastline is so large. Cool. So question 2. Of the countries in Africa, which one has the largest population? That's Nigeria, with roughly 195 million people. So that was Nigeria, 195 million. Question 3. The Alps stretch across France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Slovenia, Switzerland, and which other country? That's Liechtenstein. So if you see here, the dark yellow is the Alps, start in France, in the west, go north into Switzerland, across into Germany, border with Austria, in the east with Slovenia, and south with Italy, but right in the middle, right there, is Liechtenstein. Cool, so that's question 3 in geography. Question 4 was the messed up question. So the actual answer is Saudi Arabia, which you can quite clearly see there. But the replacement question I gave you was which sovereign state or country is just off the coast of Florida, and that is Cuba. So which sovereign state or country is just off the coast of Florida? And that is Cuba. I think they call it a sovereign state because US and other countries refuse to recognise it as a country. Cool, so that's question 4. Question 5, in area, Alaska, Texas and California are the 3 largest US states, which is the 4th, and that is Montana. To give you an idea of scale, the top picture here in red is Alaska. You can see how huge that is. Now, as I mentioned just now about Canada's coastline, all these islands here are why it's got such a large coastline. Texas, second largest state there, California, and then Montana in the north, 4th largest state. Cool, so question 6, where am I? I'm walking through the largest museum in the world. I'm in the Louvre in Paris. So the largest museum in the world, Louvre in Paris. That was question 6. Question 7, I'm looking up at Michelangelo's statue of David. I'm not necessarily looking for the museum name, but the city, that was Florence in Italy. Or if you really want to get specific, Accademia Gallery. That was question 7. Question 8, apart from the United Kingdom, name 2 other European countries where residents drive on the left. There are 3, the Republic of Ireland, Malta and Cyprus. So the Republic of Ireland, Malta and Cyprus, they also drive on the left. Question 9, name the bridge. That's the Rialto Bridge in Venice. The Rialto Bridge in Venice. Question 10. Name the country. That is Albania. Dad, if you really think that was Gibraltar, your geography is really messed up. So that was the country, Albania. Cool. Normally I take scores halfway through, but add them up between you, keep them to yourselves for the moment. I'll do a total score at the end. It might just save a bit of time. So add up your scores. Oh, Gibraltar, they're part of the UK, so they're classed as the UK. They're not a sovereign state. They're classed as part of the United Kingdom. Cool, so add up your scores, keep them to yourselves for the moment, and I'll take the total scores at the end. The next round is name the object, but we can take a very quick break if you want. If you need to get another drink or go to the toilet. But if you're all ready, just stick ready in the box. As usual, James Woodford is full of confidence, saying he's absolutely smashing this. That might have more to do with the fact that you've got different team members this week though, James, right? Exactly, Ben, he's got help. So the next round, don't worry, I'm not going to start it just yet, but the next round, this was requested last week and a few weeks before from Sam Fuller, and it's basically close-up pictures of objects or pictures taken from a slightly different angle than usual of a certain object, and you have to name the object. It's time for a gin tonic. What gin am I drinking? It's a London dry gin. Au pair. Can you see that? Can you see that? Which my dad dropped round yesterday, so thank you very much. £17 points for the three amigos. All need to put it back, don't they? Yeah, Nick, for your efforts in the community, it could be worth a point for having Woodford on your team. I mean, it is a disadvantage. It's not a bad effort, Eric. I wonder if you're a Star Wars fan, maybe you can pull it back for me from there. Who's on your team this week, Mike? You normally have some international representation. South Africa or Zimbabwe. Are we ready to move on to the next round? Not bad, Tony, well done. And none so excited, he's put ready in yes twice. Yeah, I'm getting a number of readies. Conkers, is that a gin? Not heard of that. If it is, I might try it. Cool, are we ready? Ready, ready, ready. Right. So, like I said, round 4 is name the object. These objects, they've been zoomed in on or shot from a slightly different angle. You basically have to name the object. So quite straightforward, right? Cool, right, so round 1, question 1. Name the object. Just going to say, these aren't obscure objects, they're kind of pretty much everyday items. So if you don't like this round, you can all blame Sam. He's been asking this for a number of weeks. So I will allow this round and each question to remain on the screen for a bit longer for you guys to look at. Okay, so that was the first object. The second object is this, completely different object. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3. Okay, so that is number 3, number 4. Okay, that was number 4, number 5. Okay, so that was number 5, number 6. Cool. Okay, so that was number 6, number 7. Okay, so that was number 7. This is number 8. Again, all of these are everyday objects, they're not obscure, it's just the way the picture's been taken. Okay, so that was question 8. Question 9, name the object. Okay, so that was question 9, and then question 10, the last one for this round. Name the object. Okay, so that was question 10. And then the next round is name the year. But before I move on, does anyone want me to go back over one of those pictures? Or are you all happy? So the next round is name the year. I'm going to give you 2 events or things that happened in that year. You just have to name the year. So I'm going to give you 2 clues, just name the year that happened. And then the last round after this is going to be Star Wars. So we all good? Everyone happy with that last round? Well, not necessarily happy, but don't need anything clarifying or for me to go and recap. Right, in that case, we'll move on. So, round 5, name the year. Question 1, name the year Virgin Atlantic launched and Band-Aid happened. So Virgin Atlantic launched and Band-Aid happened. Name the year. Cool, that was question 1. Question 2, name the year Winston Churchill died and the first man walked in space. So Winston Churchill died and the first man walked in space. What was the year? So that's question 2. Question 3, A Bug's Life was released and Google is founded. Name the year. So A Bug's Life is released and Google is founded. Name the year. Okay, so that's question 3. Question 4, name the year. Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay become the first to reach the summit of Everest, and Cambodia gains independence from France. So Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay become the first to reach the summit of Everest, and Cambodia gains independence from France. I gave a public talk once when I used Edmund Hillary's climb, and I mentioned the year at the very beginning. That was a long time ago, so you may not remember. So Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay become the first to reach the summit of Everest, and Cambodia gains independence from France. Name the year. Okay, so that's question 4. Question 5. Nelson Mandela died and the Boston Marathon was bombed. Name the year. So Nelson Mandela died and the Boston Marathon was bombed. So Nelson Mandela died and the Boston Marathon was bombed. That was question 5. Question 6. Name the year. George Foreman beat Joe Frazier in Kingston, Jamaica to become world heavyweight boxing champion, and the Sydney Opera House was opened for the first time. So George Foreman beat Joe Frazier in Kingston, Jamaica to become world heavyweight boxing champion, and the Sydney Opera House was opened for the first time. That was question 6. Question 7. Name the year. The Pianist is released. So that's the film The Pianist is released, and Queen Elizabeth II celebrated her Golden Jubilee. So The Pianist is released and Queen Elizabeth II celebrated her Golden Jubilee. So that was question 7. Name the year The Pianist is released and Queen Elizabeth II celebrated her Golden Jubilee. Question 8. Name the year. The new Wembley Stadium is completed and the first iPhone is launched. So name the year. The new Wembley Stadium is completed and the first iPhone is launched. So you football fans might get that, for those that follow the FA Cup perhaps, for those years that we couldn't use the Wembley Stadium. So that's question 8, name the year the new Wembley Stadium is completed and the first iPhone is launched. Question 9, name the year Bill Gates steps down as CEO of Microsoft and the film Gladiator is released. So Bill Gates steps down as CEO of Microsoft and Gladiator is released. Name the year. So that was the penultimate question for Name the Year. Question 10, the final question of this round. Name the year SpongeBob SquarePants premieres on Nickelodeon and Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace is released. So SpongeBob SquarePants premieres on Nickelodeon and Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace is released. Yeah, you're right, Frank. I thought I'd just lead into Star Wars gently with a Star Wars related question. So that was the last one. So name the year SpongeBob SquarePants premieres on Nickelodeon and Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace is released. Cool, okay. So that was Name the Year round. Final round of the Spanish Inquizition. Round 6, which is film, but purely on Star Wars. But before I get started, does anyone need me to recap anything from the last round? Cool. Shaz needs me to go back to question 3. One moment. So question 3 was name the year A Bug's Life is released and Google is founded. A Bug's Life is released and Google is founded. Spanish Mel's Frank Nichols needs question 4, which is name the year Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzin Norgay become the first to reach the summit of Everest, and Cambodia gains independence from France. And then Mitch needs me to recap question 6. George Foreman beat Joe Frazier in Kingston, Jamaica to become World Heavyweight Boxing Champion, and the Sydney Opera House was opened for the first time. Cool. So that was Name the Year round. If we're good to go, I will start the last round of the quiz. And for those of you that aren't Star Wars fans, I do apologise, but I wanted to get Marvel and Star Wars out of the way, and we can get back to more of a more generic film and TV round for next week. Cool, right. I assume we are ready to go. So, round 6, Star Wars, question 1. Which actor is the only one who's appeared in every single Star Wars movie to date? Which actor is the only one who's appeared in every single Star Wars movie to date? Okay, so that was question 1. Question 2. Which stormtrooper couldn't complete his mission in Star Wars The Force Awakens? So each stormtrooper is given a serial number. What is the serial number of this stormtrooper that couldn't complete his mission in Star Wars The Force Awakens? So obviously a serial number, it can include letters and numbers. So which stormtrooper couldn't complete his mission in Star Wars The Force Awakens? Question 3. What kind of vehicle did Rey live in? So what kind of vehicle did Rey live in? Okay, so that's question 3. Question 4. What happened to Anakin Skywalker during the battle with Count Dooku? So what happened to Anakin Skywalker during the battle with Count Dooku? So that was question 4. What happened to Anakin Skywalker during the battle with Count Dooku? Question 5. According to the Emperor, what was Luke Skywalker's weakness? According to the Emperor, what was Luke Skywalker's weakness? Sarah, it may well have been gin. It's definitely one of mine. So question 5, according to the Emperor, what was Luke Skywalker's weakness? Question 6. Where did the Clone Wars begin? Where did the Clone Wars begin? Cool, so that's question 6. Question 7. Who first and most famously played the part of Chewbacca? Who first and most famously played the part of Chewbacca? I think he may have played a part in The Force Awakens, but he died shortly afterwards. So who first and most famously played the part of Chewbacca? That's question 7. Question 8. Who freed Princess Leia from her chains at Jabba's palace? Who freed Princess Leia from her chains at Jabba's palace? So who freed Princess Leia from her chains at Jabba's palace? Question 9. Which bounty hunter was trying to capture Han Solo when Greedo arrived first? This question purely is for the Star Wars fanatics. So it is a difficult question, but which bounty hunter was trying to capture Han Solo when Greedo arrived first? So that was question 9. Which bounty hunter was trying to capture Han Solo when Greedo arrived first? Yeah, so question 9, that was the last question, and the last question of the quiz for this week. Question 10. According to Yoda, what did Luke Skywalker need to do in order to complete his training and become a Jedi Master? So according to Yoda, what did Luke Skywalker need to do in order to complete his training and become a Jedi Master? Cool, so that was the Star Wars round. Does anyone need me to recap a question before we start going through the answers? We've done well, we've actually finished the quiz, the questions anyway, by 9:30. If you're all happy, then I'll start going through the answers for Name the Object. Wow, Ben reckons he's got 10 out of 10 for Star Wars. Is that with your friend G. Google, or are you that big of a fan? Are we ready to start marking? Shall we go through these answers? Oh, sorry Ben, I was mocking you, but actually you was asking for a recap. Hold on, one moment. This doesn't actually really matter anymore. So Ben needs 10 again, which was, according to Yoda, what did Luke Skywalker need to do in order to complete his training and become a Jedi Master? Cool, so that was question 10. Should we start going through these answers? Cool, right, okay, so name the object round. First one was a lighter. So the part that was zoomed in on was the very top, which rolls down to create the spark. Cool, so that was question 1, name the object, which was a lighter. 2 was a spanner. The part that was zoomed in on was the part that you adjust the size or the width. For Eric's benefit, that's called a wrench. Okay, So that was question 2, name the object, which was a spanner. 3 was a ballpoint pen. I'll accept pen, but that was a pen. That's the very tip that was zoomed in on. Okay, so that was question 3, name the object, which was a pen, or a ballpoint pen. Question 4, name the object, that was a crayon. So question 4 was a crayon. Okay, and object number 5 was a toothbrush. So object number 5 was a toothbrush. Object number 6 was an apple. So object number 6 was an apple. Object number 7 was a razor. The part that was zoomed in on was the actual 2 blades as part of that razor. Cool, so that was question 7, which was a razor. Object number 8 was a drinks can. So the part that's zoomed in on is the part of the ring pull at the top. And I think my dad's favourite drink, which is root beer. Apart from Kickapoo. So that was question 8, which was a drinks can. Number 9 was a battery. Obviously shot from the top. I think it's probably the easiest one on this round, maybe, apart from the toothbrush. And question 10, name the object. That was an Oreo. Cool, so that was name the object. The next round was name the year. So, first one, Virgin Atlantic launched and Band-Aid happened. That was 1984. Virgin Atlantic launched and Band-Aid happened. That was in 1984. Well done, Sam. 10 out of 10 for that round. Well done. That was your round, so expected you to do well. Question 2 on name the year. Winston Churchill died and the first man walked in space. That was 1965. So man hadn't yet walked on the moon, but they had walked in space. So 1965. Question 3, name the year. A Bug's Life is released and Google was founded. That was in 1998. So A Bug's Life was released and Google was founded in 1998. Question 4. Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay become the first to reach the summit of Everest, and Cambodia gains independence from France. That was in 1953. Cool, so that's question 4. Question 5, name the year. Nelson Mandela died and the Boston Marathon was bombed. That was in 2013. So Nelson Mandela died and the Boston Marathon was bombed in 2013. Question 6. George Foreman beat Joe Frazier in Kingston, Jamaica to become World Heavyweight Boxing Champion, and the Sydney Opera House was opened for the first time. That was in 1973. Cool. So that was question 6. Question 7. The Pianist is released and Queen Elizabeth II celebrates her Golden Jubilee. That was in 2002. So The Pianist is released and Queen Elizabeth II celebrated her Golden Jubilee. That was in 2002. Question 8. The new Wembley Stadium is completed and the first iPhone is launched. That's 2007. So the new Wembley Stadium is completed and the first iPhone is launched. That's in 2007. Question 9. Bill Gates steps down as CEO of Microsoft and Gladiator is released. That was in 2000. Now I tried to confuse you slightly with that question and the next. So that was 2000. Bill Gates steps down as CEO of Microsoft and Gladiator is released. Name the year in question 10. SpongeBob SquarePants premieres on Nickelodeon and Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace is released. That was in 1999. So I thought I might confuse you between that one year. Cool. So that was the Name the Year round. I think this is the round that a lot of you have been waiting for. Star Wars. Cool. So, Star Wars. Question 1. Which actor is the only one who's appeared in every single Star Wars movie to date? That is Anthony Daniels. And if you were doing this quiz in my first week, you would notice that face because he appeared in that quiz as well. So which actor is the only one who's appeared in every single Star Wars? That is Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO. Question 2. Which stormtrooper wasn't able to complete his mission in Star Wars The Force Awakens? I was looking for FN 2187, also known as Finn. So it's FN 2187. Okay, so that's question 2. Question 3. What kind of vehicle did Rey live in? That was an AT-AT. As you can see. So what kind of vehicle did Rey live in? That was an AT-AT. Question 4. What happened to Anakin Skywalker during the Battle of Count Dooku? He lost his right arm. So he lost his right arm. And I think, Nick, did you say that something else, you think something else happened there as well, which counts? If you want to make a point, I might accept it. But what I was after was he lost his right arm. If you put he lost his arm, I'd accept it, but it was his right arm. Okay, cool. So that's question 4. Question 5. According to the Emperor, what was Luke Skywalker's weakness? His faith in his friends. So Luke Skywalker tells the Emperor that his weakness is his overconfidence, and then he replies, yours is your faith in your friends. Thanks, Nick. So that was question 5. According to the Emperor, what was Luke Skywalker's weakness? His faith in his friends. Question 6. Where did the Clone Wars begin? That was in Geonosis. Sorry, Nick, no point for that. So if you remember back to the film where this scene is taken from, with the Battle of the Clones, that was on Geonosis. Cool. So question 7. Who first and most famously played the part of Chewbacca? That was Peter Mayhew. Reese, that wasn't Skywalker's weakness, that is Woodford's weakness, one of many, asthma. How much gin's left in the bottle? Still a fair amount. Still a fair amount left in the bottle. Just freshly opened tonight though, so I've done alright. So that was question 7. Who first and most famously played the part of Chewbacca? That was Peter Mayhew. Question 8. Who freed Princess Leia from her chains at Jabba's palace? R2-D2. That might have been the easiest question on this round, to be honest. No, Sarah, it wasn't Dave Burland. So who freed Princess Leia from her chains at Jabba's palace? R2-D2. I reckon Dave would like to think it was him. R2-D2. Question 9. Which bounty hunter was trying to capture Han Solo when Greedo arrived first? That was Dan's Borin. Did anyone get that? Just out of interest. I think you have to be quite a big Star Wars fan to get that. No, he had a very small speaking part and played that character. Well, that played him, but Dan Borin is the character. But he also played a few other minor characters in the film. It's not canon. He's got a credit in the film, that's why I can include him in this quiz. Cool, so that's question 9. Question 10, according to Yoda, what did Luke Skywalker need to do in order to complete his training and become a Jedi Master? That was confront Darth Vader again. So according to Yoda, what did Luke Skywalker need to do in order to complete his training and become a Jedi Master? And that was confront Darth Vader again. Cool. So that was the quiz. Hope you all enjoyed it. But please tally up your points. Let me know what you've got. And then just on here. Cool, 27 out of 60 for the Sherlocks. Okay. Phil and Manny, 29 out of 60. Okay. Ben Nunn, 42 out of 60. He's out in front at the moment. Mitch and Mel, is that the Gungans, 33 out of 60. Mouse Ratters, 30 out of 60. Yap Dynasty, 27 out of 60. Bame, 18 out of 60. Someone let you down there. Frank Nichols, Spanish Males, 25 out of 60. Where are you, Spanish Males? 25 out of 60. Cool. Oh, the LA guys. LA. 20 out of 60. It's still not bad, Eric. And considering it's still like the working day for you, well, sunlight is still up, it's all right. Jaden Ferguson, 31 out of 60. Here's a who. You're going too fast for me. Hold on. James Woodford, 48 out of 60.
48?
48 seems to be the top score every week. No one gets more than 48. Team Washing Machine, 39 out of 60. Two amigos or the three amigos? Someone dropped out there. Thanks, Candice. 27. Oh, good effort there, Lauren. Dynamic Duo, 46 out of 60. Oh, sorry, Dangerous Duo. Oh, good effort from the Little Pigs. 36 out of 60. $15 out of 60 for Shaz. That's well done because you're by yourself, to be fair. I don't think anyone else is, so 15 out of 60 is a good effort. Cool. Roz, 30 out of 60. Opal Fruits. Strong effort, strong effort. Da, da, da. Ben Turner. Good to see you again, Ben. 30 out of 60. Cool, right. Let me just put these in order. The year round was tricky, I'll give you that. It was quite hard to name the year. Okay, so in reverse order. So in third place, just double checking this. In third place we have Smartinis, which is Ben Nunn, Claire and Mandy. And they had 42 out of 60. In second place were the Dangerous Duo, that's Sam and Lauren. Very well done for the two of you. 42 out of 60. But winners this week are Pointless Andor, which is Woodford, Nick and Reese, I believe. 48 out of 60. So well done, boys. Again, that seems to be the score that the winner gets every week. The last 3 weeks in a row has been 48 out of 60. So can anyone beat that for next week? Cool, so now is the time for you to tell me any suggestions on subjects you'd like to see in next week's quiz. Music. Does anyone want me to bring music back? That's just my life, Frank. It's not something to to study about. Babs, maths, no. No more objects. Human body. I suppose I could do the human body. We've had a few questions in the past on the human body. Maybe I'll do science and it'll be on the anatomy. So let me make a note. Anatomy, music of some sort. Friends, a few people have said Friends. I won't do a complete round on Friends, but what I will do is bring back TV and film as a generic round. And I think 5 of those questions will be Friends-based questions. Famous quotes is a good one. Famous quotes, I like that. name the year for music, yeah? Simpsons I will do. I won't do it next week, but if I do another one the week after, I will do a Simpsons based round. A lot of people didn't. I'm guessing a lot of people did you not like the up close name the object rounds this week? Because I could do a food close up, but if people aren't feeling it, I won't do it. I'm with you there, Frank. Man United fan, yes. Landmarks is a good one. Yeah, I like that. Name the landmark. Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, body parts, I will do something on anatomy. You like the close-up round. Bible rounds, I've done a Bible round before, a couple of weeks ago. It's still on YouTube if you want to play. I might do another one. We'll see. Art and culture. Art and culture. Maybe I can do kind of a mix of art, culture and literature, because someone keeps asking for literature and I never do it, so I do need to do something on that. Disney. People keep asking for Disney. I'm not going to do Disney. I'm not going to do Disney next week. I will do Disney at some point. Maybe next week I'll do friends-based 5 questions in TV and film, then generic TV and film questions for the other 5. So that's one round of 10. The following week I'll do maybe Simpsons 5 and Disney 5. It's a bit of a compromise there, right? Grow your moustache back. I did shave it today, or yesterday. I was a bit bored of it in the end. Cool, okay, so I think for the moment I've got anatomy, which we can have as part of a science round. Music, name the year, I quite like that. Famous quotes, I like that. And name the landmark is good. And then maybe art and literature. So that's 5 there, plus I normally do general knowledge. So that'll be 6 rounds. Car logos. Yeah, maybe I can do name the landmark. Is car logos is a bit niche though, isn't it, right? I know you'd be up for it, Sam, because you're a petrol head. Not sure if everyone else would be taken by that. Close up a car logo. You've got a second vote there, Sam, from Mitch. Le Mans, yeah, we could, but it'd only be me, you. I don't know who else on there that would get the Le Mans question. Sam, maybe. Yeah, I could do another logo one. Okay, I might mix up name the landmark with 5 questions and another 5 questions of name something. Leave that with me. Cool. Maybe I could do, just for you, James, pictures of Weatherspoon carpets, and you have to name the Weatherspoon, because I know you're sad and actually have the book. But cool, right, I think I've got some hinters for next week. I'll crack on and get it done. I hope you all enjoyed it. But if you've got friends that haven't played before, or you want them to get involved as part of your Zoom team for next week, then let them know. Pass on the channel details, and cool, I'll get it done. But thanks for joining me. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again next week, 8 PM next Sunday. Ciao for now.